Hey, everybody, and welcome to True Crime Paranormal with the Psychic Sisters. This is Katie Weaver, and of course, I'm here with my partner in crime and sister, Kristi Brower. Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
I'm well, just doing the thing, right?
Doing the day before Thanksgiving thing?
Yeah, supposed to be getting ready for Thanksgiving, and we're not actually doing Thanksgiving until Friday. So,
Oh, right, I forgot about that.
yeah, my one of my kids can't come home until maybe tomorrow night or Friday morning. So, yeah. So tomorrow I'm just gonna take it easy.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well, it
I'm
should
all
be that
about
way
it.
anyway on Thanksgiving, I think.
Well, yeah, for sure. It turns into such a marathon. I did finally
Mm.
realize today I hadn't taken my turkey out of the freezer, so I did
Yeah,
that. But I was just gonna, I'll just cook it from frozen.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to.
Well,
Nobody
yeah,
ever
you don't have
thought.
much choice now.
Yeah.
Unless you want to, like warm up your bathtub. I don't know. No, don't do that. That's
Ugh,
gross.
yeah. I hate defrosting the turkey. And so that's the thing. I took it out of the freezer, but it's out back sitting on my back patio, sitting on the freezer, and ooh, it is cold here. We
Yeah, I
got
was gonna say, I don't
slammed
think
with
it's much
snow.
better. Yeah, you guys got a lot more than we did.
Hmm.
We
Yeah,
had a
we
pretty
got
good
slammed this
little
afternoon.
we had a pretty good little storm, but nothing like you did.
We
But
got quite a bit,
it's
yeah. And it's
Thanksgiving. I mean, snow is coming and it's going to be here to stay. I mean, that's
yeah.
just it.
Well, and it's like the big, thick, fat, wet.
Yeah,
Like
like
all my trees are
Christmas
just
snow,
heavy with
like
it.
snow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Michelle.
Jennifer says she's making stuffing
Yeah.
and pies.
Ooh,
Nice,
Jennifer,
Jennifer.
you are ambitious.
Yeah.
I bought a couple of pie crusts, thinking that I might
Mm.
make a pie or two. I don't know. We'll see. So we are going to do updates. We have two solved cases to share with you guys tonight,
Yes, we do.
just so that you guys know what our plans are. And then tomorrow night, we're going to do empath boot camp. So we know it's Thanksgiving night. We know some of you probably won't be here, and we know that some of you probably will, because we know that some of you guys are spending Thanksgiving alone.
Yeah.
And that maybe, having something to come and do with us and look forward to might be a nice thing. So tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Mountain, we'll be back. But
Yes,
in the
we surely
meantime,
will. Which I'm
Kristi, how
excited
are
about that.
you? Oh,
Um,
yeah, it's going to be great.
it's going to be really fun. I'm okay. I'm riding the coronavirus wave. It took a little turn today, right up my nostrils, and so I've got pretty major sinus infection going on. So I like to have my finger on the mute button because I have sneezed about 1,000 times today, and so I'm like, oh great. Not just do we have a show, but it's live. So I'm going to try real hard not to sneeze in your ears. And I'm doing okay. I did some Thanksgiving cooking today. I made a cranberry cheesecake bar thing that's keto and a crustless cranberry or crustless pea no pumpkin. Oh my goodness, COVID brain. Pumpkin pie thing that turned out really good. Oh, and I made my homemade cranberry sauce also. And we put our
Awesome.
turkey, which is just a breast, in the fridge to defrost. So, getting ready, hanging in there.
That sounds
Yeah.
great. I love how everything was a thing.
Yeah.
Cheese bally thing and a.
Yeah, it was kind of a yeah, I'm sorry. If you have not if for those of you who have had coronavirus, I'm sure that you can agree with me on this, but it does something to your brain and you cannot friggin' think. I can't remember anything. I burned my lunch because I forgot I was cooking it. Like my brain
Oh,
is
yeah.
struggling. So anyway, sorry if I call everything a thing because I can't remember what it's called, but that's why.
Call it a thing. Call it whatever
It's a
thing you
thing. It's that one thing.
want. Well, that's all good. Did you make mom's cranberries?
Yeah, modified COVID, not COVID, modified keto version. Yes, I did.
I'm gonna do that too. I'm gonna put a whole orange in it like she did, and a whole bag of cranberries. But then she would put like maybe 4 cups of sugar. And
Yeah,
mine's
you
gonna
don't know.
have monk fruit.
Yeah, that's what I did.
That is it. Yeah.
That's what I did was monk fruit, and I did orange extract instead of the orange because
Well, that's a
I
good
don't even
idea.
have an orange. I'm not
I
able to eat
bought
them as much as I
one
love them.
orange.
Did
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, I did for this specifically.
It's a good
But
idea. I love them, but the orange extract actually did a really nice job. It's really
nice.
good.
Oh, good. That's awesome. I'm kind of torn between doing something like that. It's just so much sugar. I don't even have any sugar in my house. And so
No.
there's no option there. I mean, some things like we're going to eat starchy foods like mashed potatoes and some things like that and
We
rolls.
are
And
too, but
we're
not
going off the
sugar.
rails there. But yeah, not sugar. That's my body's not having it.
It's been
Yeah.
so long since I've really had sugar. I don't even know what might happen to me if I ate sugar. Might be
Well,
scary. I don't know.
you're sick and recovering. Your body doesn't need any extra bullshit right now.
Right. It's not going to cure corona, that's for sure. So,
No.
yeah.
Well, when I bought the cranberry stuff, I thought, I don't even own a bag of sugar. So how do I do this? And then I went, nah, I think I can do it with monk fruit and it'll be fine.
Oh,
So
you can.
I'm
I
glad to
mean,
hear that yours worked out.
go to the Pinterest. There's people who've already done it,
Of course.
and it works great.
Of course there are. Pinterest is a wonder of keto, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, saves my butt every day. Yeah. I'm
So we
always like,
do a
someone else
cookie
has figured
day.
this out.
Yeah. We do a
Yeah.
cookie day every December where we get together on a Saturday and everybody brings ingredients and things to make 2 or 3 or 4 different things and we make them all. And then we have plenty of treats to take home and to share and, with all the cookie stuff you need.
Yeah.
And since we all went keto the last couple of years, we've done it sugar-free. And wow, Pinterest has saved our lives. We've
Oh my
tried things that
goodness.
work really well. We've tried things that I wouldn't do again, but man, we found some great ideas.
Really, really good ideas. Yeah. Yeah, which helps because eating keto is so stinking expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And like keto chocolate, oh my God, like $7 for a 9-ounce bag of chocolate chips. So
Yeah.
you
You
don't
waste
want to
that.
screw up.
No,
Yeah.
you don't.
It's a sad moment when you screw something like that up.
It is. It's a bit of a heartbreaker. Yeah.
It is.
I'm going to make Raffaello truffles.
Oh,
You
dude.
guys ever had a Raffaello? Oh my God.
So good. And I saw that recipe, so I can't wait. That
Mhm.
sounds awesome.
Yeah. I was going to buy the stuff this weekend and practice it. And I went, no, there's so much else going on around here. I'm just not going to get to it.
Right.
But I had a couple of show and tells to share.
Oh,
We've
let's
been
see.
working. Our biggest show and tell is our website. If you
Yes,
guys
it
haven't
is.
seen it yet, Kristi put in a ton of work on a new website. Well, not even new. Website for us.
Yeah.
And it is
Our
True
very first
Crime.
one. Yeah.
Right. First one and only. It's
Yeah.
out. It is called True Crime Paranormal Podcast.com.
Yep.
And it's so cool because you can see everything that we do on it. It's fun. It's user friendly. There is a spot there for you to give us case suggestions. And we're going to ask you to only give us case suggestions that way so we can keep them all in one place and be a little more organized with all that info coming in. We get a ton of them.
We do, and they're coming in on,
from every
YouTube
direction.
comments and social media, and
Mhm.
we lose them sometimes. So if we haven't covered a case you've asked for, remember to ask us for unsolved cases, because that's what we do.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yep. You will see our Patreon there, our merch store there on Etsy. You'll see everything we do there, how to get a reading from either one of us, all of it. So it's awesome. I have a couple of things that I've been working on that are in our Etsy, in our merch store. Not necessarily true crime paranormal, but there's still fun stuff. So I made these pendulums. I am so in love with this. It's a key.
Ooh. Yeah.
See it very well. It's a key. It's burnished. And it's a key with a floating key. I'll try and get it closer to the camera. Maybe you guys can see.
Oh, wow. That's pretty.
Yeah, it's a key with a floating key in the top of it, and then a bunch of little yellow crystals. And they are gorgeous. Anyway, I made them today, and my daughter was eating her heart out. She's like, you are not even selling that, right? Because I want it. I made 2. But yes, I'm selling them both. But anyway, so those are in our store. But also, I've been working on, I made these a while back, well, for the Witches Fair, and sold out of them. So I made a new batch and put them in Etsy. But they are bath spells.
Yeah,
So
they're so cute.
they're so cute. sow them, and they're a blend of different salts and different herbs for, whatever you're working on. So there is a protection blend, there is an abundance blend, there's one for finding love, and there's one for self-love.
Nice.
So all of the herbs or that are in these have been selected by me for their plant magic properties. And so you put a whole shot of one of these, you put a whole one in the bathtub and soak with it for the properties of those plants for the plant magic. And then, of course, the salt adds the crystal magic, and there you go.
Right. Those are really fun.
Aren't they fun? I think these are going to be the funnest, like stocking stuffers and
yeah, really nice.
Just little gifts and
Gift
stuff.
stuff.
Anyway, so you can find those on our Etsy store too. And if you don't know, our Etsy store is Joyful Goddess Designs on Etsy.
Yeah.
Easy enough to find. So
for sure.
I
Well, and
promise.
actually,
So
you
and
can
so
find it very
for
easily
more.
by going to our website and clicking on
Yes.
merch because it takes you right there.
Mhm.
Elaine wanted to know if we've ever done the Chandra Levy case, which we have not. So
Mm,
if you want to suggest it, Elaine, feel free to go to our website and do that.
yeah, do.
I'm loving we're going to have them all in the same place because I'm always digging through comments and stuff like, okay, I know I saw somebody suggested something I wanted to look at. Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
I know, me too. I love it. Very good. Okay, well, we do have a couple of so I got sidetracked by Cranky. She said, no turkey for us tomorrow, just chicken. I would do that in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
Kids in this house that want a turkey, but we're doing a little ham too. I don't know about you guys. You guys are, I know, because Rhonda lives for ham, but
Oh, yes. Well, Mike does not like turkey. He only likes ham. So we're doing both.
Yeah.
Also, with all of us down right now, I'm like, hey, let's just cook a bunch of stuff all at once, and then that'll just take care of us all weekend. So
that's what I said too. We'll see how well that works out, but
yeah, well, you got extra kids coming home, so
yeah, see. But it is what it is. I'm glad everyone's coming home. So
yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to share a couple of cases with you guys, a couple of solved cases.
Yeah, yay, we love solved cases.
Yes.
Because these are old, went cold, then got solved kind of cases. Our favorite kind.
Well, you guys, if you are in our Patreon, oh no, this wasn't a Patreon. It was our case on Monday, the Blount family bombing. We talked about a guy who was charged and then acquitted for, a crime he did not commit.
Yeah.
And this is a little similar. So in 1990, a woman named Sharon Gill was stabbed to death in her home. And they didn't have a whole lot of leads. They finally started investigating a gentleman. And actually, his name was Sean Malsky. He actually bragged about the murder. He told people he did it. He talked it up and bragged about it. And he was indicted for first-degree premeditated homicide in 1993.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 years later, the charges were dropped because there was absolutely no evidence that linked him to this case except for his word. And it seemed a little suspicious. Yeah. And so after that, the trail went cold, which really sucks because they spent all of their time and energy on this idiot who didn't do it.
Those false confessioners. Ugh. And right? I know it's all a big attention thing. I get it. I get it. I don't understand it, but I know they have reasonings, or they think they do, but it's such a waste of resources and time. Yeah. When, the person who did commit the crime is currently just scot-free. It's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awful. Well, in the meantime, an 86-year-old woman was stabbed to death in her home. Ooh. And there was DNA evidence that they found that they tracked back to a guy by the last name of Davis, who, Roland Davis. And they convicted him of that crime. And he's actually on death row for killing that old lady. Mm-hmm. Well, there was also DNA evidence at the Sharon Gill murder that had never been, linked or processed back to anywhere. Well, this week they discovered that Roland Davis is the suspected killer. He's now been charged with her death as well. And it's a very similar MO. They, in their home, stabbed many times. This poor Sharon, stabbed to death in her home with multiple stab wounds. Her child came home from school and discovered her mother like this.
Oh
Dead
my
on the
God,
floor.
that's terrible.
Horrifying. Anyway, he apparently was in Florida working around that same time. And the DNA evidence, of course, that they had collected at the scene and had never been able to fully process. But now, of course, with the advanced technology they have, and he's been indicted for it. So
Wow.
lots of, good news for her family to get some closure there for sure.
For sure.
As for motive, the sheriff's office said they believe that he is just a psychopath.
I read that and I thought, oh, that's such a horror. He's just a psychopath.
Psychopath.
It's not that big of a deal.
It's just what he does. Yeah.
Right.
Lord. And they also really are starting to think that he is responsible for many more deaths that they haven't linked him to yet. So
Right. It's time to be firing up that DNA machine because, yeah.
Well, and he's on death row, but honestly, I hope that they stave that off for a while so that they can get him indicted on as many charges as possible for the families.
Yeah. To give the families some closure and at least know what happened and at least know that he's, locked up and never getting out and isn't hurting anybody else anymore. And yeah, those things matter.
Yeah.
They matter a lot, an unexplained death can really linger over a family for a long time.
Absolutely. And not just for families, but also, for families, but also because then suspicion flows, people start thinking, suspecting each other. It tears families apart. There's just so many, terrible things that go along with this. And then the guilt factor.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, the guilt factor is so horrific for families and for friends. And so, and for whole communities, of course, and in this case, our just a psychopath, has possibly killed many people and gotten away with it. So, anyway, we're glad that he's already behind bars, but we're really hoping that he gets all of the charges he deserves for any of these unsolved murders in the South that he may have committed. Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad. It's always nice when there's, potential for more resolution. But that's one of the best things that can happen. I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then our other case tonight, this one is so wild. This is in Alabama.
Bonkers.
Yeah, it is. And there was a man named computer updating. Hold on, updating. Come on, internet, keep up. There was a man named Christopher Alvin Daly who was shot and killed when he was 26 years old in 1995. And it has been a cold case, basically since 1995. There really weren't ever any leads. He was shot in the head. His body was discovered by a teenage boy and girl. Wonder what they were doing. 75 feet from a major logging road.
Ornament.
Yeah. And later, this made me laugh only because, his 1983 Toyota Tercel was later found submerged in the Tennessee River. Pretty sure we were rolling in about the same year of Tercel when we were kids.
Oh, yeah. It was a really, really shitty car.
Our parents bought this gold Toyota Tercel. It was the most ugly and embarrassing car. We were so humiliated to have to ride around in it.
And it was the station wagon model, which made it way cuter. Trust me.
It was terrible. We hated it.
Well, and was it the car that couldn't get up the hill to our school?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our mom would try to drive us up the hill to our elementary school, and it would slide back down the hill. And a lot of times we would have to get out and just walk the rest of the way up the hill because she couldn't get up the hill. And it was a great car.
There'd be no getting to school today. Yeah.
No.
So I'm having a ton of trouble with my computer. It's so stupid. Okay, here we go. Well, anyway, so that happened way back when, right? And there was literally no leads. I mean, that happened in 95. There have been really nothing on that case. So earlier this week, the phone rings at the police department, and Detective Sean Mukadam, we'll say that, Mukadam.
Sounds
Uh,
either
he's a
like
violent crime.
a name or a coffee drink. Cool. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yes. He's a violent crimes investigator. He answered the phone, and a man said his name is Johnny Dwight Whited.
Mm-hmm.
Who names their kid that? Johnny Dwight Whited.
I, I don't know, but don't try to say that 3 times
I
fast.
don't know why you do that to your kids. He said he wanted to confess to a murder he committed long ago. He didn't know the date or the year. He had no idea when it happened, but he knew about where it happened. And they had a hard time figuring out what he was talking about. This was in Decatur, Alabama. And anyway, they finally went clear back to the 80s and used a description of the area. This guy, I mean, again, this was like way off the beaten path, you know. Anyway, they
Imagine
finally
killing
figured
someone
out.
and then not having enough memory of it to be able to tell the police you did it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you why here in a minute. But
Yeah, I think I know, but I'll wait.
yeah, they finally track it back to the Daly killing in 1995, and they take him to the scene, and he says, yes, this is where it was at. He reenacts the crime for them. Tells them all about it. He says they hadn't known each other before and didn't really give much of a motive, but says that he shot him in the head there and then drug him off the road, and that this is where it happened. And he tells the police that he's terminally ill. And he says that he's remorseful and he just wants to get it off of his chest and needs to be done with this.
Yeah.
So they charge him with murder. He doesn't even mention to them that he is up on methamphetamine charges right now.
Yeah.
So they didn't even know that, but he has those going for him too. So
might have something to do with why he can't remember who he murdered, but that he did murder someone.
Well, what they
sometime.
discovered that he was actually arrested less than 3 weeks after that body was found on a heroin or a crack cocaine charge.
Yeah.
So he's got a long history of drugs and issues, and I don't know that killing was about drugs, but it, you know.
But I have questions. I mean, is this the only one?
I mean,
doesn't it make you wonder?
To this one, I would think that if he's going to get anything else off of his chest, he's in the, you know, he's doing it.
Right.
You know, so I'm kind of thinking, yeah, you know.
Maybe it is.
Yeah.
So weird, though. Just couldn't carry it around with him anymore, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And apparently he's terminally ill and obviously he's going to prison, you know, on everything, all of the charges he has now.
I'm kind of thinking not for long, judging by the picture of him. He does not look like a well person. So
he looks really rough. Yeah. Yep. Well, he's only 53, but you'd think he was a lot older.
He looks so much older. He's in terrible shape.
Yeah. So that's yeah. So some closure there for the Daly family, because they have never had not even a suspect. And, you know, of course, no idea of who or why this would have happened. There's still not a very good why, unfortunately, but at least they know who and that they're going to get a little of that. He told the police that he credited the previous detectives who had worked on this case. He said, I turned the page and closed the book on the story that they started.
Wow.
Yep. Which makes you think that he's been following this case.
Yeah, it does.
You know, that makes me think he's been following this case all along and, you know, keeping an eye on it, which is pretty wild. But, you know, maybe
there's way more to this story than we know yet. Really interesting.
I think so too. The detective said that when he went on site with them and was showing them reenacting the crime, that he got very embarrassed about certain things.
Oh, really?
Which also made me wonder, could this have been a meetup or a hookup? You know,
that's a thought. Maybe.
That was my first thought is, oh, this was a hookup. What was the murderer's name again? In the second case, Ember, I think that's what you're asking. It is Oh, for the love.
It's
Seriously.
Whited. The last name is
Oh, that's
Whited.
right. It's something Dwight
Mhm.
Whited.
Yeah.
Let me find it. Sorry. Good Lord. I need to just write this down and not rely on the internet anymore because the internet sucks.
Well, it doesn't totally suck. I mean, it's got us connected
Johnny.
here on the show.
Johnny Dwight Whited.
Right.
Whited. Yep.
Yeah.
Johnny Dwight Whited. Yep. Yep. That is quite the case. That's pretty wild. But again, that's a pretty easy one there for the police department there to put a nail in.
Well, it didn't seem like they were doing much of it on their own. I mean, that's just wild.
No. What I had read is that they've revisited it a few times, but just truly had no evidence, nothing to go on.
Huh. So unfortunate. But at least for the family, they have some closure now and they know he's going to go away
Mm-hmm.
for it. I mean,
Yeah.
along with other things, obviously.
He's going away and he's going away.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like it.
30 years, more than 30 years of drug abuse, it looks like, as well as
Oh.
carrying this crime around on his shoulders.
He looks rough. He seriously looks like he's in his 80s.
He does.
And he's in his 50s.
Those
It's
sunken
not pretty.
cheeks and, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, he looks to be in
Yeah.
bad shape.
Yeah.
Oh, Donnie Dwight. Yeah, right. Not Johnny. Donnie.
No, it is Johnny.
Dwight.
No,
Oh,
it's
it is Johnny? Oh,
Mhm.
you said Donnie the first time.
Did I really? No, Johnny.
Yeah.
Good God. I don't know what's going on. It is Johnny
Dwight Whited.
Whited. Where am I? What's my name? Bianca says the Atlanta child murders would be interesting since a lot of people don't believe the man convicted was the real perp. Ah, that's
Well.
interesting.
Go over to our website, send it to us. We'll take a look.
Yeah, definitely. And that happens, as we all know. Yep.
Yeah.
Yikes. That's awful. Yeah.
Mhm.
So there's 2 more solved. And one of them, of course, was yet again DNA for the win.
DNA for the win, man.
And the other one, okay. I'm going to play devil's advocate for just a minute on our Johnny, right?
Okay.
He confessed. At least he confessed. I mean,
Right.
it's none of this is good, but at least he confessed. And at some point, in some ways that gives the family of the victim some closure.
Right.
At least there's
25 years later, but at least it's something.
Yeah. Yeah. Versus this other jackass that's, just been charged and is sitting on death row. He knows that he's killed other people and he's not talking.
And he's not talking.
He does not care at all.
Yeah.
Anyway, at least there is a little bit of empathy, in the case of Johnny.
Well, you'd think that he at least, this he's carried this a long time and it still eats at him or he wouldn't say anything.
Well, sure. Yeah.
At least, he's not just a psychopath like the other dude.
Yeah. Who's just sitting on death row and knows that he killed other people and he's not going to offer that closure. That just really sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Not that it should be surprising at all. I'm not
No.
not asking for a big shocker here, but seriously.
No, but yeah, when when someone's, in prison for life, give the rest of it up. At least give some people some closure, and some do and a lot don't.
Yeah. No.
I know there's a lot of work done behind the scenes to try to make sure that happens.
Mm-hmm.
At least get, some closure for people, but it's a hard one because, when you're talking about people that have no conscience, that have no remorse, they don't care.
Yeah. This whole conversation has given me an idea for a show. We're gonna do a thing. Not today or tomorrow, but this has given me an idea.
Cool. I like it.
So yeah, how's that for some vague booking for you?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, we're only up to like 75 or 76 shows now, so I'm sure we can do something else.
Isn't that wild? Can you do a show and tell about the interesting pictures behind you, Kristi, and the stuff behind you, Katie? Yeah, we could.
Oh, sure, yeah.
We could. I know.
We both metaphysical stuff.
We both have offices packed with metaphysical stuff. You guys have to remember, or maybe
oh my goodness,
we owned a metaphysical store for 10 years.
Yeah,
and have been, working in this industry and involved in new agey stuff for a very long time. And so yeah, we both have a lot of stuff. A couple of weekends, some of our kids' friends came home with them from Boise, and it really made me laugh. One of them asked, can I go in your office? And I said, sure. And I heard her come in here and go, wow. And so the other kids are going and going. But anyway, this is the funnest room in the house. She's like, I could stay here
Yeah.
for hours. I'm like, well, you're welcome to, But
That's
my
funny.
son is he's home, but he's finishing his semester. And last night he had to record himself doing a report or something. And so I said, do you want to use my office so that you have, access to my sound equipment and my cameras and stuff?
Yeah.
And I said, maybe that plaque behind me that says psychic, maybe flip that over. And he's like, oh, hell no, that stays.
That's funny.
He's like, it all stays. He's like, my teacher is going to wonder where in the world I am. Yeah,
Right?
most definitely.
Yeah. No kidding. Oh, that's funny.
I love it. See, there now we have an idea for a second show. Look at us. We're full of all
Yeah.
kinds of great
Look at
ideas
us.
tonight.
I
Yeah.
know. And then there are people out visiting our website. They're adding more case ideas to us right now in this moment. It's so
I
awesome.
know. That's really fun. Yeah. So many good things. Yeah. So that's what we have tonight. But
Yep.
of course, we want to remind you guys that we are going to be back here tomorrow night at 8 p.m. For the Psychic Hour. And we're doing Empath Boot Camp. If you don't know if you're an empath, empaths are people who feel what other people feel.
Yeah.
Empaths are the ones who have been told they're too sensitive. Empaths are the ones who walk out of chaotic places with a headache or a stomach ache.
Or cry when everyone else cries.
Yes. Empaths are the doormats of the world who will let other people get away with some pretty outrageous bullshit rather than stand up to them because they can't stand making somebody feel bad.
Yeah.
And lots of other things. But if you find yourself in any of that, or your kids, or people come to the Psychic Hour tomorrow night. We know it's Thanksgiving, and if you can't be there live, we absolutely understand it. And so of course it'll all be recorded like it always is, and you may watch it or listen to it later. But we also know that tomorrow could be a lonely day for people. It could be kind of a shitty day for people. Us coming, that's our contribution. We want to be live and spend some time with you guys if you're looking for that.
Well, and depending on where you are, it might just be Thursday.
Oh, that's true. It may not be Thanksgiving at all. Yeah.
Lots of you listen to us from outside the US that are like, it's just Thursday. It's not that interesting of a day.
Yeah. Well, or maybe it's Friday, wherever you live. But
yes, you're Friday. I don't know. I'm not the best.
We are a global family. We can't forget that.
Yes,
yeah,
that is true.
For sure. All righty, you guys. Well, that's what we've got for tonight. But again, we'll be back tomorrow night. And of course, we want to thank you so much for being here. This is True Crime Paranormal with the Psychic Sisters.